Well, good morning. Good morning, my crafty friends. I hope that you are having a wonderful Friday morning. I'm just I'm coming on today to say that I want to share a card that I actually created the card for my library class last month. But when I went to go have my class, the same library that I have my class at, they were also having it was also a polling location, and it was early voting, so I didn't have very much of a turnout because a lot of people were voting on that same particular day. So I just thought that I would just show you the card that I had created for them, and to show you how easy it is to make a quick and simple card just using a little DSP, a card base, some ink, one stamp set, and whatever your favorite ink is. So today I'm going to be showing you. Let's see, where is it in here? Sorry about that. The DSP I used, because I wanted to use something that kind of talked about giving thanks. So I actually used this DSP right here, and it's actually called the Rustic Harvest 12 by 12 Designer Series paper. And this is it's in the July December mini catalog. But let me show you the paper up close. So this is the paper, and it has some really pretty rustic prints, and we're going to be creating a card using this particular print right here. And the way this here sheet came, it's a 12 by 12 piece, and it has these three at the bottom, then it has like a little black, then it has the same design on each end. So it's like a divided design on that page. So, but what I did, I just cut them down in order to make cards. So let me show you the card that we're going to be creating. Well, I really hope everybody's having a great day. I would just like to share some exciting news with everyone. On November the 15th, I became a new grandma. I have a new grandson. And so he weighed 7 pounds and 7 ounces. And oh my goodness, because I wasn't blessed with having children traditionally, but I was still blessed with having children. I wasn't too sure about labor. And oh my goodness, if I tell you that my poor baby was in labor for 21 hours. And my heart just goes out to her, because I went yesterday to go and visit her and the baby, and you could see that she was still really tired and stuff like that. So, and like I told him, I said, you know what? Your granny has a bone to pick with you. You have just been just causing so much trouble, and you just a little tiny something. And so, and he was just, and then of course, he haven't even been in the world 2 days, and he just automatically just wants you to just constantly keep holding him. So I told him, I said, nope, nope, no, 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 no. We're not going to spoil you. I said, because, everybody's going to be coming and picking you up and holding you and going to spoil you. And then when they get ready to go, they're going to hand you back over to your mom. And then she's the one left with you crying and screaming and hollering. So I told him, I said, I'm not finna get on that spoiling train. I told him, I hold you when you're crying, and I dry you off when you're wet. But other than that, I'm just, because I don't want to make it bad for her, because at some point she's going to go back to work. And even though this is her third and her last, it's a boy, and she wanted another boy. So it's going to be kind of hard for her. But I just wanted to share that good blessing with you. So I am a new granny, and his name is Kingston. Let me pronounce it right. His name is Kingston Javante, and he weighed 7 pounds and 7 ounces. So now back to the card we're going to create. So this is the card we're going to create right here. And what I did, it was just real simple. It's called Grateful for Family Like You. And like I said, I just used the designer series paper. I used some different sequins. I used the lasting label punch and the lasting label stamp set for this border, and then to punch it out. So here's the card, and this is the card that I made. So now we're going to create one together. And so whenever I have my library classes, I always try to put everything in the envelope that they're going to use, and so I always give them an envelope. This is the piece of the very vanilla cardstock that we're going to use to stamp the sentiment. Here's the designer series paper already cut, and here's the very vanilla card base already scored and folded, because you know we only have the library class is only like an hour, and I always try to make it where it's just really easy for them. But also, normally we do paper pumpkin, and I know some of them like that, but also every once in a while I try to throw in a different type of project so that they can, you know, get a feel of something else. They know all about the little boxes, and they love the little paper pumpkin boxes and the different colors, and sometimes the specially designed paper pumpkin boxes. They're happy with those. But I decided, well, you know what? I want to try to get them something a little different each time. And so I decided, well, for October, we were going to make a Thanksgiving card so that, you know, they'll know about the beautiful designer series paper, and how just a little designer series paper, a little scrap of, how would you call it? A little scrap of a neutral, either very vanilla or basic white, some ink, and for this I actually used one of my old paper pumpkin stamp sets, and this stamp set came with my paper pumpkin called The Gift of Fall, so I'm still using something that's paper pumpkin related, so at least they'll still have that. But and all of this, and of course my little sequins, and we're going to put all that together, and we're going to end up with this cute card right here. So the first thing I need to do is I'm going to stamp my sentiment on my piece of cardstock that's right here. So let me get that out. And I am so glad that I have my headphones on, because my dog is outside and he is barking profusely, and I kind of think I know why. I'm expecting a package from Federal Express, and I'm more than sure that they're getting ready to drop it off, and he is just constantly barking. But I'm just going to let him bark, because I think that would be really rude of me to stop in the middle of our video because he decided he wanted to bark. Something told me I probably should have brought him in the house, but it's still pretty out there, and tomorrow it's going to rain, so he won't be able to be out as much. So he'll bark, they'll drop off the package, then he'll stop barking. Then I'll go and get the package once my video is over, once my live is over. So I'm going to stamp this piece on here like this. Now that's the puppy that's outside barking, everybody. His name is Spunky. But my old man Coco, he went on, and you know, he's old. We've had him since 2009, so he's pretty old. And so he went and looked out the window, seen the person, and just kept on. Now he's barking because he hear him barking. So this is the sentiment that I'm using, and I don't know if you can see it. Let me bring it up to. Let me see if I can bring this down so I can get a better view. But it's called. Let me put it on here so you can see it. It says "Grateful for Family Like You." Okay, so I'm gonna put this on here. Put a little ink on it. And because it's a photopolymer stamp, I'm going to get my little piercing mat so that I can have a really good crisp image. And just stamp that in there like that. Okay. And so that's my stamping. Not a lot of stamping at all. Just a little bit. You know what? I don't like my "Grateful for You." It looks like it's a little, so I'm going to turn that over. And I'm going to do it on this side instead. Same piece of cardstock. Just repurposing it. Get some more ink. And the ink and all the materials used and all the measurements will be listed on my blog below the video, because I'm going to eventually, sometime today, I'm going to upload this video. And once I upload the video, I'm going to make sure that all of the measurements and the materials that I use are listed, and you'll be able to find all of that on my blog. So let me try this again. Okay. And so I'm going to center it a little bit better this time. Alrighty, now I think that's better. Much better. Much better. Okay, so I'm closing the ink so that I don't have an ink mistake. Sorry about that. My arm went across the bottom of the camera. Let me move this out the way. And if you've been following me, let me punch this out. So I'm going to use, and this is the lasting label. This is the, I think it's called the lasting label punch. And so I'm just going to put this piece in here like this. Make sure that I have it in here positioned correctly. Well, I probably should have made it just a little bit longer, the pieces. But you know what? I'm going to make this work. Watch me. Let me see if I have enough. Oh, here's a little piece I can use. I just need to get something to kind of help me push that in. Now this is my fault, because you know what? I should have made my piece longer on the sides, but I didn't. So I have to use my fingers to line it up and to punch correctly, because I just wanted to punch it really good around those edges. Okay. Well, at least if nothing else, you'll see what happens when you don't do your measurements of your paper correctly for the punch to allow room. But look at there. Perfect punch. All right, so set this to the side. Now I'm just going to put my card together. And like I said, this isn't a really long, it's not going to be a long Facebook Live. But I just wanted to share with you a card that I had designed, and I got all the materials that I wanted to share with my library class so that they could create this last month. But I actually have a class tomorrow, so what I'm going to do is still take this card and give everybody their little make and take, and I'll make sure that I take all of the all of the materials with me that I used to create this, and at least that'll give them a chance to play with this card while we do our Christmas card, because we're actually doing a Christmas card. So at least that way this will give them something to do with that. Okay, and if you've been watching my videos, you know I've told you how I am truly in love with using the multi-purpose glue, because it's user friendly. Once you place your piece down, it makes it more easier. It gives you wiggle room to adjust it and to move it around before it actually sticks real good, to make sure that you have it in the right position. Okay, so let me get this little piece. Open this, and I'm just going to bring this up so you can see it, and I'm just going to center this, make sure it's even around on both sides. And like I said, with the multi-purpose glue, you can just kind of move it. Okay, and then that's that piece. Then for my sentiment, I'm going to use some dimensionals, which is this piece right here. I'm just going to put a few on here. 4, like right on the corners of the end of the sentiment. Pull off my backs. And see, this was my little boo-boo era. And this is where I corrected it on this side. And so I'm going to place this like right here in the flowers. And so I wanted the card to have like some type of little bling. So these were some sequins that I had that are pretty much like fall colors. So I decided to use these. And so in order to make them stick, at first I was going to use like little glue dots. But then I was thinking, I don't know if I want to use a glue dot. So what I did was I still used some of my same multi-purpose glue. And I just put like a tiny little dot right there. Then I put another little dot right there. Tiny little dot right here. And then one right there. And Stampin' Up! Has this amazing tool called Take Your Pick tool. And I used it to pick the sequence that I want to use. So I'm just going to put a few out on here, and I can always just pull these back in here once I finish. But I'm going to get some of these out. And so this, this card has like some really pretty colors in it. So I thought I would get this one right here, which is like I guess like an orange almost. Or a copper. I'm going to put that one right there. Then I want to get one of these green ones. And you notice that I'm picking them up with my little Take You Pick tool. That one right there. Let's see. This is a different color. Put that one right there. And then this looks like a silver. I'm going to put that one right there. And that's the card. Now, you see how that was very, very simple. And I didn't decorate when I was creating my card. I really and truly didn't decorate my envelope. So what I'm going to do is decorate it while I'm in my live. And I'm going to make sure that I take something with me so that my library class ladies can decorate theirs as well. So this has flowers on it. And I'm trying to think of something that would be really cute to go. It don't have to be a lot. I don't want it to be kind of overstated. I just want something to give the card the envelope a little design. We got those on there. I wish I had like a little stamp. I do have a stamp with some little butterflies on it, but if you ask me where it's at right now, I don't know, because I'm in the middle of reorganizing my craft room, so I'm not exactly sure where anything is right now. But you know what? I'm going to use one of these cute little, I think I want to use this little, as I would call it, a little curly cue. Let me get out another little stamp for this. And let's see. I think I'm going to use the same ink that Merlot is the ink pad. I'm going to set my card to the side. So, what I'm going to do is just put a little ink right here. And I'm thinking what I'll do is just, you see right there on the corner, I'm just going to put, let me move this out the way. I'm just going to put just a little design right there. Now, just a little something. I think I'll put another one right here. Then I'll put another one right there. Because even if these cards are mailed, so see, it's not a lot. I don't want it to be like overpowering. So I'm going to decorate my sample envelope. Like I said, I'm just going to put a little bit right there. Another one about right there. And then one more over here in this corner. And just something to give it to dress up the envelope. So that so when it comes in the mail, they'll be like, oh, this is a cute envelope. It's not a naked envelope. Okay. So now let me show you my completed project. So this was the card that I had designed first for the class. And this is the card that I created this morning for the Facebook Live. And so and the little matching envelopes. Okay, so those are my projects for today. And I know that I probably won't talk to none of you until my next Facebook Live, which is going to be December the 4th. But until then, thank you so much for watching my video. I hope that you're having an amazing day. May the Lord continue to bless you and keep you safe, and have a wonderful, wonderful Thanksgiving holiday with your family. Bye. Talk to you later.